Hello everyone, it's Loretta, and today we're going to be making a craft fair project, but it's also going to be a project that my co-crafter group are going to be making from home. We do not meet in December to give us all a little holiday vacation to spend time with our family. So, this is what we're going to be making. It is my take on a hot cocoa treat. This is for two people, and so it's going to have one pair of socks though, just because of the expense of socks, but it'll have the 2 cups and the carrier, the hot cocoa pouches themselves right there, and there will be some peppermint candies which will go inside of these little cups. So these are super easy to do. For those of you who are part of Cup Crafters, you will be getting a kit that has enough pieces to make 5 of these projects. So, if you are watching this from home and you'd like to have a kit that has enough for 5 pieces, please contact me privately at missretta@gmail.com. And I will be glad to mail you out a kit at a nominal price, so it will be fair. And that way you can make them for yourself and you have a template and all that good stuff. Okay. We are going to start with the easiest part first. And the easiest part for us is going to be making the envelope for the hot cocoa mix, and we're going to be making 2 of these per treat. You are going to need some supplies on hand to complete this project if you're one of my co-crafters, or if you're at home, same thing. You're going to need some good quality scissors, and you're going to need a bone folder, and you're going to need some glue of some kind, either adhesive, like a liquid adhesive like the Tombow Mono glue, or hot glue, whichever one you prefer. And then everything else will be in your package. This is a piece of scrapbooking paper that is double-sided, and it measures 6 inches by 6 inches. And we're going to fold it from this corner to this corner. We're going to line it up and fold it. I should have picked a bone folder that wasn't quite as gunked up, but that's okay. So now, a lot of people do this different than I do, but what I found is that it is easier to fold the top flap down first and then fold the sides in so that it stays straight. Okay? And so we're going to take this flap right here, going to leave the back one in place, and we're going to fold this right down to the middle and crease it down. That way we'll know where to fold these pieces. So we're going to take this piece and bring it over till it meets and fold it down. Same thing on this side. We're going to bring it to where those pieces meet and crease it down. So far so good. So now what we're going to do is take these 2 flaps, and just like that, it's ready to go. If it's a little wonky, you can just take your bone folder and press it back into place. This is where, if you'd like, you can take your hot glue gun and put a little drop of glue right there so that it sets into place. So there's the first pouch ready for its hot cocoa. Now let's do it one more time so you can see how it's done. Fold it in half, corner to corner. This is basically a diaper fold. It really does kind of remind me of the old-fashioned cloth diapers like I used on my little ones when they were still little. They are grown. To crease that down, and we're going to take this flap and line it up to the bottom. Crease it down. Same thing with this side. Take this one, line it up to the bottom, crease it. Now we're going to pick that up. Okay, now we're going to make the medallion that is going to go on the hot cocoa pouch right here. It's really easy. You're basically going to take this, it's already scored for you, and you're going to accordion fold it. Every kit's going to probably be different as far as the colors go for this project. Just because we're using what we got. If you are going to make this particular one for a craft fair, I would charge $10 a piece for them. Frankly, they're worth that, and just with the amount of time and love and effort that you put into these, that's also why. So once you have it accordion folded, you're going to just let it go. Be very careful, hot glue is hot. And right there, as you saw, I just put some hot glue. I'm going to take these two pieces and let them get together, line them up, just like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, you'll notice one end scalloped and one end is flat. I'm going to take this onto my desk and just flatten it out. Now you really don't want to do what I just did. I wasn't paying attention. But if it comes apart on you like it just came apart on me, you're just going to glue that little puppy right back together. So now, the side that you don't want showing is going to be facing up for right now. And you're going to push it down just like that. These may or may not be in your kit. I will most likely just put a circle punch, which is a 1-inch circle punch, in there instead. But if you'd like to do something fancier, you most certainly can. I'm going to hold it there for just a moment. You're going to have a small bag of blings. Full instructions are going to be on my blog. The direct link to the blog post will be down below this video here on YouTube. This is basically a belly band, and it measures 1.5 inches by 12. Now we're going to pretend for the sake of the video, just because not all of these supplies that I need for this project are quite in yet, but your hot cocoa pouch would already be in here, okay, on both of them. You're going to make sure that the label for the hot cocoa is showing so that they can see that it's hot cocoa. And you're simply going to take your belly band, you're going to wrap it around the front with the cocoa pouches in place, a little hot glue or regular glue, whatever you want. You want this to be in place, but not so tight that your cocoa tends to splash out of one end. Then you're going to put some hot glue on your medallion and put that in place. So the first part of our project, which is the actual hot cocoa mix pouch, is now done. Next, what we're going to do is make the carrier for our coffee cups. Now, most of them are going to be pattern paper, and they're really pretty easy to see, but for the sake of the video, I thought I'd just go with the plain brown ones. This one got caught a little bit, but you'll never see it because that's a actual flap. And these are pre-scored for you. There are plenty of templates online and dies that you can make. This is an SVG file that I cut using my brother's scan and cut machine. You could also use your Cricut machine to cut these. And you're just going to fold on the score lines. So you are going to want your liquid glue for this part. So it's going to be real obvious once you fold this exactly how it's going to go together. So the first thing you want to do is bring this flap right here. Let's get this one out of the way. Just work on one side at a time so you don't confuse yourself like I did. Okay, so hold this down. Now, this is one of those times you may want to put a couple clothespins on the project just to hold it while you go to the other side. So this side is going to be this glue's right here. So the next thing we actually want to do is put a little glue right here on these flaps on both sides. Now this is where they're going to come together for you. By now these are actually together enough to where they're not really going to slide, and you're just going to put them where that flap is on the inside of that box. Now, I forgot to do this at first, so one of these needs some glue on the bottom so that it doesn't come apart. Once again, we're going to use a clothespin to hold this together. Now, you'll see that right now this doesn't line up. That's because they're in the wrong position. So all you have to do is move them around until they do line up. Now this one, I forgot to fold this tab right here, which is the other problem with why it's not lining up. And the same thing here. There's another tab right there. So as you see, it just kind of fits together. We're going to put glue on this tab over here and this tab over here. So your little box is done. Now these boxes, the one that I did for this one, I did put a band around the bottom. I'm not going to be doing that for the ones that we're making for Cove Crafters. Just simply, it's time consuming and it doesn't really add anything to the project. So next thing we're going to do is go get our little cups. Alright, when you get your kit, these little sleeves for the coffee cups will need their little confetti punched out, and you can use a pick. You can use a toothpick for that matter. Just something that you can kind of push these little guys through. Start at the seam side. The curved side goes to the bottom, this steeper curve, and the one that's a little bit more even goes at the top. It's actually easier to use regular glue for this than it is hot glue. For one thing, it's a little easier on your hands. You're not going to really run the risk of getting burned if you do it like this. I'm going to bring that around until the two seams meet right there in the middle. Now we're going to take the part that keeps your hands from getting burned if you were drinking real coffee. This is just decorative more than anything. Put some glue on there and bring it around until it meets in the middle. Now I am using a die for this. You can, if you're doing this for a craft fair, you can take a cup apart and use it to make a template. But there are plenty of free templates online. Just Google mini coffee sleeves and I'm sure you'll find one. So now that that is pretty much in place, well, maybe not. Needs a little bit more glue here on the end, not a big deal. If you accidentally get too much glue on there, just use your handy dandy baby wipe to clean it off because you want it to look really nice when it's finished. This is a point to where you would put the candy into the cup. But since my order for the candy is not here yet, we're going to improvise. Alright, this is a 2-inch circle punch. Little hot glue. This is going to go right over the top. You will have quite a few snowflakes in your kit. I want you to keep in mind that these are kind of thin, so be careful or you will tear them. We definitely don't want them to look messy. I'm working on a silicone baking sheet, so I'm not worried about it adhering down to my work surface there. This is just a package of little blings that you can buy at your local big box store. I got these from Hobby Lobby. They go on sale frequently, but you get a lot, so it's not like they're real expensive anyway. For this part of the project, once you have that in place, if you're like me and you are a little too glue happy, just wipe away the excess with your baby wipe. And your cup goes right here in your holder. Make sure your top is on securely. And so this is where we're at. Now, with the ones with pattern paper, you will notice that because of the way the paper folds in on itself, like this one does, you can just pick whichever side you want. And you're going to take one of your larger snowflakes, whichever one you like. I have a love-hate relationship with this glue. It works really well, but sometimes you cannot get it off your hands to save your life. It is just not always the most fun thing to have on your skin. So I do recommend that if you have a different kind of glue, to use it. I'm going to be giving you guys some tubes of glue. Most of them are just going to be regular school glue like your kids would use. You still don't need a whole lot. So to make sure that this snowflake is going to attach well to our project, I put a little tiny pop dot, little dimensional dot right there in the middle. Now I'm going to place my 1.5 inch circle right there on top of it and add a little bit of glue. It's going to go on the handle wherever you want it. And that's it. That's all there is to the project other than packaging. So I'm going to show you the packaging and how I did it without, I hope, taking it apart too much. So let's set this aside now. These are also going to have fuzzy socks in them, like I mentioned before. So you're going to want to fold those in half. Take the manufacturing display tag off. Make sure that the little ends are off, because I don't want somebody to get their hands or their feet scratched up because it's still got that little plastic tag on it. So anyway, you get the idea. So you're going to fold those in half. You're going to put it in your box next with your two little cups. And then on the other side, you're going to place your two pouches of hot cocoa that have the little medallion. And that is it. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have, leave me a thumbs up. Don't forget to share my videos on your social media. These kits will be available starting around the last week of November. So contact me privately and I will let you know for sure when all the pieces and kits are ready to go out, if you do choose to help us out from your home. Okay, so the packaging is just one of the large, they're kind of like a bread bag. And then all I did was I brought it up into the top, tied a bow, as you can see, with some ribbon, and then I cut off the excess. So is that not just the cutest thing you've ever seen? Thanks for joining me, everyone. I hope that you've enjoyed this, like I said before. So stay happy and be a blessing. I will talk to you all soon, I hope, to see you again in the new year.